All right, ladies, let's talk about what are the three major secrets that will make the sex with man so much more unforgettable for him, but also for you. And it's not going to be the things that you think it is. But before we go into this, let's talk about, this misconception that so many have in regards to intimacy and actually what's portrayed online, through porn and social media and all media outlets in general. It's really not about like a set of skills that you might have. It's not about like a crazy flexibility that you need to have or any of these things. It really has nothing to do with this. It's like, yes, the most important piece in all of it is actually to be open and free in the mind. And what do I mean by this? It's like if you're constantly thinking, am I doing the right thing? Is this the right move? How is the lighting? How I'm gonna look? Am I gonna look embarrassing? If you're like so insecure in the mind that everything you do and everything he does and the way how he responds to this becomes like overanalyzed, then you're really missing the point of being in the moment, being present, enjoying yourself, enjoying him. That's why I said it's the most important piece is to be free in the mind. And if you lack a little bit of confidence, if you don't really feel quite safe with him or even with yourself in your own body, or in this like very sacred, beautiful, intimate moment with him, then those are things that really need to be looked at, because ideally you don't want to think at all. You just want to be so consumed by the present moment and every touch and every feeling and every sensation that you can feel it so intensely and so intimately. That's what's going to make the biggest impact in the way how you're going to experience these intimate moments, but also because he's going to feel it. Like, I can tell you, a good man is sensitive man that really cares about his woman. If she's very much in the mind, if she's very heady during these intimate moments, then we feel it, we sense it, we pick up on it. And it makes us question a bunch of things too. Does she like it? Does she not like it? Is this good? Is this bad? Like, we're getting into our mind, we're getting into our head because like we kind of want to enjoy the sex with you. And yet at the same time, we feel like you're not really enjoying it to the fullest because you're more in the mind rather than in the body. So it's so important to get into the body and out of the mind. So that's why I say number one, freedom of the mind, the most important thing. And that's going to create an essence of liberation here and everywhere else in the body. And that liberation, that comfort, that enjoyment is a whole new level of excitement. Which brings me to today's sponsor. If you're stuck, lost, or confused when it comes to your relationship with men and you don't know how to communicate your needs to him in a way that makes you feel seen, loved, and heard, then you must see this. Since every woman's personality and circumstance is so unique and so special to you, we have a free relationship assessment quiz that you can take in the link below. That quiz will give you a customizable action plan to give you the love that you deserve, because you're worthy of it and you do deserve it so much. So take our free relationship assessment quiz right now. And now, back to the video. The second piece is we need to create an environment for him where there's less pressure, because this performance anxiety is so many men experiencing. I can guarantee you this. So many men are constantly thinking, am I performing well enough? Am I doing this right? The same way how you do it, men do it too. So for him to actually be in the moment, it's really important that these expectation or this constant, he needs to initiate, he needs to do X, Y, Z, he needs to take care of all physical labor, like constantly have this major erection and be like, on point and just perform for as long as needed to, or finishing as fast as you would like to, all of these things creating so much pressure. If we're creating an environment for him where there's a little bit of a relief of this pressure and the reduction of this performance expectation that like we feel is put on us, and actually often men put on themselves on top of it, that's really important. And that's going to create so much more ease for him. And that's probably also going to help you to feel like less pressure as well, because like now he's not experiencing, because obviously we pick up the energy from each other. So if you're insecure, then he's going to get insecure. But if you're confident, if you're strong, if you're powerful, and you're like just enjoying the moment, then it allows him to enjoy it more rather than being in this performance anxiety kind of state. And the third part that's really going to make a major difference in the way how the two of you experiencing these sexual moments of pleasure and intimacy is if you're going to create a situation where there can be more of an open dialogue about the sexual communication and the sexual conversations. Talk about your desires. Talk about like the things that you want, the things that you like, the things that you don't like. And all of this can be done in a way that it doesn't feel like it's either threatening or it's done in a way that the other person feels like, oh my God, I'm like so bad and bad. No, none of it needs to happen. It can be like with an open, playful, connective energy. So both of us like, wow, really? This is what you love? This is what you like? All right, cool. Yeah, let's try this next time, or let's integrate this right now. And there's so many more opportunities how these conversations can be fostered. One, it can happen in the moment if done the right way, or it can happen before and after. I actually like all of it, to be honest. I think there's a benefit in all of these opportunities, how we can communicate with each other, because we're creating so much more connection and knowledge and understanding of what is it really that the other person likes. And often we're going to experience the fact that even expressing the things that we like and desire and need is often not that easy. But the more you're going to do that, the more safety the two of you create, the more you also understand, like, man, he's struggling as much as you do in communicating exactly what it is that he likes. And so it is for you. But if you both do that, then all of a sudden it becomes so much more easy and so much more of a flow, and this connection is going to deepen so much more. And this enhances the pleasure, and actually you're upgrading your sex life so much with this. So if you're going to approach it with a sense of curiosity and a sense of, positive feedback. So one approach is to bring in this curiosity, and you might even say, it's like, you know what, I saw this article yesterday, or I watched this video the other day, and he was talking about like, needing to talk about like sex a little bit more with your partner, and it's going to enhance the sexual experience, and, talking about the needs and desires. And then I realized, man, it's not so easy even for me to talk about my desires and what I need. So I would love to dive a little bit deeper in this with you. Are you down for this? Are you open for this? Now, this is a conversation you might not have right when you're in the middle of it, but you can even do this after, and you even tell them like, I really loved when you do this, earlier tonight. Or you know what, next time, this was amazing, but like this one thing, oh my God, I'm just losing my mind. I don't even know. I feel like my eyes are rolling backwards and I'm like losing any control about my body because you're just hitting that point. You're just hitting that spot. These conversations can be done with a lot of cheekiness, being teasy, being open, being positive, being playful, and like, hey, what is it for you? I mean, this was so struggling for me to even bring this up, but like, I'm actually curious, like, what is it for you? What is it that you like? What are your fantasies? Like, so if you combine the freedom of the mind, which actually allows the more direction also in terms of these sexual conversations, and you combine this with like taking the pressure and the performance expectations out of it, because there's also so much that can happen in order to make it even worse for a man. I know I'm flipping back to the second point, but I want to bring this up because it just comes to mind. If you're in the middle of the two of you having fun, you're like, when are you finishing? Like, can you come now, please? Oh my God, that creates the worst pressure and the worst vibe and energy you can possibly imagine for a man. Because now he's thinking, damn, I need to come straight away. Man, she's already not liking it anymore. And now she's just like playing the duty game because like, we're in the middle of it, so she wants me to finish fast. Or is she even liking it at all? Like, why are we continuing? Like, what's wrong? What am I doing wrong? What does she like? Like, you can see how quickly we can get into our head as well. So if comments like this, can you finish fast? When are you done? It's terrible. It's worse. So again, let me sum it up. The freedom of the mind, which comes from you being more in the body and less in the head, and creating an environment and an energy with your partner, and actually also an energy within yourself where you feel safe, where you feel like you can express yourself. That's so, so important. Then combine that with like getting rid of these expectations, the pressure of performance, and that goes for both, for yourself, but also for him. And then on top of it, you combine this with like a little bit more of an open dialogue about the things that you like and the things that you don't like. These three secrets are tremendously going to help you to impact your sex life in the best way possible.